What's up, everybody, and welcome to Tino's Time. And we are here for another special episode on the channel, as we are going to have ourselves another interview with a very special guest today. So let's not waste any time and let's get right to the conversation. And let's welcome to the first time to Tino's Time, Chicago's sweetheart, Missa K. Missa, how you doing today? And welcome to the channel. I appreciate you making some time and chatting it up here with Tino's Time.
Of course. I mean, I wish I knew you were wearing a White Sox hat. I mean, if you're a White Sox fan, I would have maybe thought twice about doing this, but I'll let it go since we're here now.
I mean, like I said right before we started recording, they're about to break the record. It is what it is. Chicago sports, it just sucks to be a Chicago sports fan, I've noticed. And, so, yeah.
Past few years, yeah, they've been a little rough. I'm not going to lie. Ever since I started wrestling, I kind of am now a bandwagon fan. I used to be into it where I'm like, I had to watch every game. I had to know the players, like all that. I used to be, but that was like when like Rose was still Point, like that, yeah. You know what I mean? Like that time, like it
was so good. It was so good at that time in the Bulls, and I know your lucky number is something too that has to do with Chicago. So we'll have to talk about that. And
yeah.
I mean, it's just the Bulls are just we got luck. We got spoiled with the Jordan era and everything else like that, and it hasn't been the same since. But
that's why the Missa era is here.
Huh?
Why the Missa era is here, bringing it back.
Yeah, let's go. I'm ready. I think we're all ready for it. So we got a lot to talk about here today. So let's get right into it. And the first question I have for you is, since your release from NWA, Sean Ross Sapp reported in the Fightful Select that TNA is interested in signing you. How do you feel you would stack up against the TNA roster? And is there anybody you would like to go up against in TNA?
Yeah, there's a lot of people. Of course, Jordan Grace. Her and I wrestled in a scramble match years ago, like probably my second year in wrestling, if that. So obviously I'm a lot more seasoned now, so I'd like to see how that would pair up. Jody Threat's another one early on in my career. She would be someone I want to wrestle. Kylan needs to get better. I'd love to have a match with her. And now you got Heather Reckless there. So Heather and I have been on the indies together a lot. So I think it'd be interesting to see us at TNA what we could do. But yeah, the whole roster there's like everyone's pretty stacked, so I don't really. It's hard. I could throw a rock and like hit somebody over there that I want to wrestle.
I feel like all the opponents that you named too would be great matchups together, and you guys would do very well together. It would be so cool to watch all of those. And I'm just imagining, especially Jordan Grace one. That'd be so cool, especially how like up and coming she's kind of been coming, especially being on NXT and everything that's else as that relationship recently. How did you feel about after your release, and what did the first 24 hours look like after? Like, what was kind of like going through your head and everything?
It's always nerve-wracking to an extent, because you don't know, right? It's more so the unknown. Like, all right, is it going to have a positive reaction, a negative reaction? Are people going to care? Are they not? I mean, I had a feeling people were going to care just based off of conversations that I had. So I was like, okay, some people are going to care a little bit, but I was pleasantly overwhelmed. Like, probably wasn't even 24 hours, 72 hours. I was just getting so much positive reinforcement and, excited to see where you're going to go. Like, I had to step back from social media because it was just so it was just going. So yeah, I was very pleasantly surprised slightly just by how much of a reaction it got and how many people were talking about it. It's one thing hearing about it and seeing it on social media, but when the fans are coming up to you in person, or when your colleagues or peers are coming up to you and asking you questions and where do you think you want to go? What does this mean for you? So I'm like, all right, so to me, that means that I'm doing something right and people are interested in where I'm going to go and what I'm going to do.
Yeah, and I definitely have seen that a lot, especially it seems like you're gaining a lot and the momentum is awesome. And seeing just all the people that you, like, even just from me just watching and seeing the stuff that you've been doing, it's so cool to see all the people that have noticed you. And I love watching the rises of superstars. I always love to say it, like just seeing the rise and seeing how far they can go and just the success, and I love it. So it's really cool, and I cannot wait to see where everything goes. And we'll have to see if those rumors are true and everything.
You just got to keep up, keep watching.
Yeah, just got to never look away. That's why you never know what's going to happen any given second. Just yeah.
Missa's always full of surprises. Sorry, I keep it going.
No, it's okay. No, it's okay. No, it's okay. Yeah, I appreciate it. If you got anything that you could add, it definitely add. So, but yeah, just keep it watching and seeing. For many people though that may not know, Maria Kanellis, formerly in WWE, for people old like me, that Ruthless Aggression era, I loved. That's where I grew up in 2005. Which was like mine, best time to be a wrestling fan. You were a big fan. Maria Kanellis is a big fan, and she does endorse you a lot on social medias, and she's kind of like adopted you in a way. What is the relationship, and how did that first kind of start with you and Maria?
So technically, I adopted her first. Just so we're clear,
okay.
I adopted her and Mike as my wrestling parents.
Okay.
I just kind of told them, I was like, yeah, you're my wrestling parents now. So Maria, I met in Texas during Mania Week, or was it Texas or Florida? Maybe it was Florida. It was Florida. I met her in Florida, and she was there. She was watching the girls and all that stuff. She was giving feedback, so I was picking her brain about some things, and I had to go. I was actually double shotting. I finished that match, got some advice from her, and then I ran to my next show, which was like an hour away in Florida, so that was fun. But yeah, so that was my first encounter with her, and then she came around to Chicago when she was doing Women's Wrestling Army, and my name was thrown in the hat, and started working for her. And I was surprised that she remembered me, and she did. She has a really good memory. So ever since working with her with Women's Wrestling Army, and because she means what she says, she's one of those people that she wears her heart on her sleeve. She cares. She cares about the women, making sure that they have time, exploring their characters, and just experimenting and all that stuff. And that's what Women's Wrestling Army is and was. So I would have conversations with her. I'd be like, look, I don't really, I want to do a lot. I love storytelling. That's what I fell in love with wrestling. And just kind of talking with her about that, we kind of came up, like, she immediately, like, at first I was just like, oh no. I was like, did I scare her? Because I when I get passionate, I get a little overwhelming.
Yeah.
But she like came back to me and she was like, all right, here are some ideas that I got. After I gave her some ideas, she's like, here, we're going to clean it up. What do you think about this? And I had like a whole spreadsheet of the next day for tapings. And I was like, yes, please. So ever since then, like, she's somebody I've always picked the brain of. And then Mike, of course, Mike Bennett. I'll see him in locker rooms more than her. And he was always somebody that, again, because of her, I always, even like growing up, even before I met her, I was a fan. She's a Chicago girl. So, you always have that love for your people.
Chicago people guys stick together.
Yeah, it's like we're the most beautifully dysfunctional family I've ever seen in my life. But yeah, I was always a fan of hers. Just watching, I was like, oh, there's something about her. I'm like, she's just really entertaining. I like watching her. I could tell she was really smart. So yeah, meeting Mike, I would feel bad because I felt like I would talk about Maria more than I'd be like, so how's me and all that stuff. But yeah, he's also another one. He's just super. What you see is what you get. Like both of them. Like I adore both of them, and I could thank them over and over and over again for how much that they've helped me. Like anytime I have questions, they're always willing to give advice, and they're honest about things, and I don't have to worry about them bullshitting me. So, it's in wrestling. I feel like that's rare because everyone's always striving to be on a certain. Not everybody. There are. I'm very fortunate. I do have a good group of people that are really cool. And them too. They're two of them. They want to see everybody succeed because they understand. Like if everyone's succeeding, then wrestling as a whole is succeeding, which means it's growing, and we get. There's just so much good that comes of it. So yeah, they're just. I'll sit here and I'll talk the whole interview about how amazing they are. But yeah, they're pretty cool. Yeah, they're okay.
Okay. But and that's awesome that they're like that. And it's just with people like that, and like like the Chicago and stuff like that, it just seems like we all kind of come from the same thread, and we're all just like, I say it all the time, I want to see everybody succeed because it just makes everything better. And with wrestling, how it's been right now, it seems like everybody is just getting a little bit, and that's kind of how it should be, where everybody does a little something, everybody succeeds, and it's good for wrestling, and that's what it hasn't been for a long time. And it's nice to see it finally get back to where it's like wrestling is even just watching like sports and seeing the wrestlers at the shows.
Yep.
We recently have seen you on AEW Rampage the last few weeks back to back.
Yes.
Is that somewhere in that? Is that a place we could see you in?
Possibly. I think you can see Missa Kate anywhere your heart desires. I'll be. But yeah, working there again. I worked with them before NWA, and then once you sign with NWA, you're exclusive. So I wasn't able to work with them, and then I am again. So, it was really cool because for the most part, like the locker room is pretty similar. It was nice to see familiar faces, and they were welcoming. And yeah, I can't say anything bad. I had a good time. I think. There's a lot of women there that I would love to have matches with, Sky, I know she's hurt right now. Her and we were supposed to have a match, but unfortunately I got sick, so I wasn't able to make the show. But yeah, other than that, like we haven't wrestled in a long time, so in AEW I think would be interesting. Queen Amanada and I had a very short match. We would like to call it that, but we interacted for a minute. But she's somebody that I would like to have a full on match with. Serena Deeb, Deanna Purrazzo, Mercedes Monet, Saraya, like all these women are Camille. Like there's Camille.
It's crazy.
Yeah, Camille I worked with at NWA, and her and I have never had a singles. We were always in multi-man matches. And then we were almost supposed to have a match on the indies, and then it fell through. So, yeah, there's, like I said, when I say I could throw a rock, I could throw a rock, and I'm very blessed. It's cool. It's scary as it is to be a free agent, we'll say, because you technically don't have a security. It's also very freeing and really fun because I'm in a weird position where I can go wherever, do whatever. And yeah, I'm straight up in control of my own life right now, my own career.
And that's the nice thing that you kind of do have, where you're able to perform in a lot of different places where, it's just, like you said, you show up everywhere and you just never know where Missa Kate's going to be. So let's talk about some of your upcoming matches that you have. You have a few stuff coming up in October. It's already October, Halloween season, all that good stuff. But before Halloween, you're going to Ego Pro Wrestling on October 5th, returning, and it is in Joliet. What are your thoughts about going up against 2D Lynn and at the Forge? What are your thoughts about going into that match against her?
So Ego Pro, definitely I advise everybody going to. It's a really fun show. Robert Anthony, Ego Robert Anthony, however you want to. I just call him Ego, Rob, whatever. We're on a first name basis, but yeah, he is so good at. I don't want to say like he feeding his ego here, but he is really good at all aspects when it comes to wrestling. Before he had Ego Pro, he was also helping produce and put together other wrestling shows, and in doing so, he made the environment really fun, and that's something that. When you go to Ego Pro, you could feel like, again, how you're saying wrestling, it's fun again. I'm like, yeah, because the boys are having fun. That's something that Rob's always wanted to do. He's like, yeah, this is supposed to be fun. This is supposed to be for us to grow and learn and have, a space for that. So Ego Pro is definitely that space. And at the Forge, too, the venue that it's at, I can tell you, like, from the boys' perspective, beautiful locker room. So we very much appreciate it. It's really cool back there. But even like the setting and just all of it. It's really fun. The show is in entirety, and now going to Tootie. Her and I have wrestled in the past. We've had one singles match, and she did beat me in St. Louis. I got a little distracted from her little blue friend. I can't think of his name. The mascot for their hockey team.
I can't think of it. It's like I know exactly what you're talking about. I can't think of the.
Yeah, but anyway, whatever. Their actual mascot was there. I had Frank the Clown in my corner, and she surprised us all with the little blue demon with her. So yeah, I got a little distracted because the blue guy was beating up Frank, and I was just like, Frank, what are you doing? Next thing I know, Tootie wins. So I definitely have a little payback to give her, I guess we'll say. So, and I think she's grown. I've grown since then because that's been over a year now. But I think overall, the show, like besides my match, because I'm going to be in it, so it's going to be fantastic. So go for that reason alone. But even if you don't want to just go for me, I promise you the entire show is going to be great.
Yeah, and so I used to live over in the Joliet area and stuff, and I've been on, I've seen it, and just the place is just beautiful. So yeah, I would definitely go, and if I have the ability to find a way to get out there, I'm definitely gonna try to go and see.
Do it, and also if you could tell, I'm wearing Good Note, and I have the pants to match.
Oh, I love it.
Good Note is gonna be there, I believe. They were there last time, so I'm assuming they're gonna be there again. And they're just his name escapes my brain right now, so I apologize. Blame my wrestling. Me wrestling for my brain. But no, he hand makes all of this himself, which is amazing.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Definitely come again. It's like I said, it's like a giant party that's like contained. Bunch of cool people there. And Good Note and You Are More, I do know they're going to be collaborating, which I don't know if you guys know. If you know You Are More.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. For those that don't know, sorry. These are my guys.
No, it's okay. Go ahead. Tell the people so they know. It's about, You
Are More is a brand that I work with. They like to fight the stigma against, mental health and all the negativity that comes with it. Just overall, they're great guys. So, and just I think them two coming together as a collaboration. Like for me, I'm ecstatic because these are, my people. So I'm like, oh, cool, we're going together. So it's fun. I'm excited.
It's always fun to do it with your friends, and always fun to I always say it's always just so cool to be able to do it. And like I said earlier, seeing people succeed and being able to do it with your friends and that you've grown up with and everything is just so cool.
Mm-hmm.
You also are going to be around that same time. We recently see you start a feud with Ari Alexander at the House of Heat Pro Wrestling. How do you feel about that upcoming match?
I think it was very disrespectful that I got a tattoo. My first ever tattoo. I have tattoos. Yeah. But it's okay. I made sure the correct people paid for it to get removed. So she was scaring me the last show. That's why she wasn't there. However, if she wants to show up the next show, feel free. But yeah, I'm very excited. Her and I have wrestled a couple once in the past before this. And she's somebody that's really fun to beat up. So I'm excited for the future.
I mean, hey, it's always fun when you like to beat somebody up. It's like, hey, now just and
you can't get arrested for it. Like, what are you gonna do? That's my job.
Exactly. That's exactly what you gotta say. Listen, I'm just doing this is how I get my paycheck every listen.
Right? If I make her bleed, maybe I get a little extra more money. Show
that color. I mean, hey, now nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. And we'll talk about one more upcoming match because you're everywhere. It's crazy doing all this and looking up some of this stuff. It was just like Missa everywhere.
That's right.
Missa does everything.
That's right. Missa's great at everything. Missa Kate is great.
Missa Kate, I like that. That should be a t-shirt. There you go.
Working on it.
I like it. You recently wrestled Megan Bain in a tag team match at Dreamwave Wrestling. How do you feel about your upcoming singles match with her at CSW?
I'm excited because her and I actually didn't interact that much during that tag match. Rebecca and I, which we're going to have a singles at Dreamwave, so definitely check that out. It'll be our first singles. I'm going to snatch that belt from her because I'm the belt snatcher. But Megan and I, this will be our second match ever that we'll be involved in, but our first singles match. So I'm very excited. Again, Megan Bain, everybody knows who she is. She went to Japan, owned her craft, came back, and she's somebody who's all over the place. So she's somebody that I've been wanting to wrestle before she went to Japan. I was a fan. Coming back now, I'm really excited to see what we're going to do and how that's all going to go down.
It's really exciting, and it's awesome to see be able to do all these different things and just see you everywhere. Like I said, there's probably not a weekend that you're not doing something. So
no, yeah, it's really funny. I'll pull out my calendar, especially as of late. I'll pull out my calendar because people will be like, "Oh, what are you doing, so and so?" And I'm like, looking, and they're like, "Holy crap, that's your calendar!" It's just like all. I mean, I'm using my phone right now. Otherwise, I'd show you. Everything's just all highlights. I mean, I have OCD, so everything's color coordinated. They're like, "That's a lot of colors."
It's better. That's how I am too. That helps me so much. Sometimes you just gotta it's better to be organized than not to be organized. Than if it
helps your brain.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like even like sometimes I look at my house and I'm just like I need to like clean it. It's driving me nuts. Like I definitely feel you on that. We are sadly running out of time already. This conversation has been great. I really do appreciate you making time here to chat with us. The last question I have for you here before you could let everybody know where to find you, all that good stuff. We recently saw, and I can't even believe we're coming up to it already, WrestleMania season again. Last year, we saw Missa Mania take over and run wild all over the world. Missa Mania t-shirts and everything else like that. What and whose idea was it to create the skits? Will there be a season 2 of Missa Mania next year for WrestleMania in Las Vegas? And what can we expect?
Yes, me, and probably. Well, to answer your questions.
Okay.
So yeah, no, coming up with the skits again, like the people that you see in the videos, those are, friends, business friends, regular friends. And so it was kind of like a concept. I want to say Taz and I were sitting down and we're just shooting the shit, like just joking around. And I was like, bro, what if we actually make like a little series? Because again, we're just all friends. We're used to joking around, and I'm a fan of Always Sunny in Philly.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's funny. I actually started it a few times, but I've not been able to watch it all the way through. But it's one of those shows when I definitely have time. I need to because it's so funny.
Yes, I'm the same way. I've yet to watch it fully through because I'll have it on the background and I'll watch it. But it's so freaking hilarious, man. It's just like the actor. It's a whole different conversation itself. Yeah. But that was kind of like I thought it was funny because we're going to Philly. So like, they could kind of be like a concept of it to a degree, but that mixed with, again, I'm a big Friends fan. So I kind of like I was like, okay, if we can make it like a love child, right? Because it was like anybody who knows Sunny and Philly is a lot of it's improv. Like, yeah, you have your outline, but most of it's improv, what they're doing. And that's kind of what we did. It's funny because just how my brain works. Again, I'm the only one that's in my head, so I know what I'm picturing. I know where we're going, the direction. So when we were setting up the skits, and again, there's so much behind the scenes footage that it's going to be released one day, hopefully soon. I just need proper equipment that has enough memory. But there's, you could tell that everyone's just like, what's going on? Like we, prior to even shooting, I will say myself, Taz, Carla, Nene, we all sat down and we're all just like, all right, let's come up with some kind of outline. Where are we going to start? Where we're going to go? And we had maybe like, I want to say like 4 skits. So 4 of those episodes out of, I think 8 or so were posted. So yeah, we had those concepts. And then everything else was just like on the fly, like, oh, what if we do this? Because then Jordan got thrown into the mix. So then he was an extra character, and it's fun beating him up all the time. So there was like a lot of extra stuff. But yeah, ultimately it was, yes, I'll say like I came up like, yeah, let's do it. But as a collective, we were always throwing in ideas, trying to see where it's going to go. And honestly, it was a way for all of us because I never went to WrestleMania before. So that's where it all stemmed from. Like I've been a part of Mania Week, but I've never gone to a WrestleMania.
Okay.
But that mixed with, I knew I was going to have signings, and I was trying to get some matches. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to because, again, Mania matches are planned like a year in advance.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you get lucky because, again, when I went to Texas and Florida, I think I was really fortunate where 2 to 3 months before April, they were just like, hey, are you booked? Like stuff was going on. I was like, sure, I'll go. But yeah, so Philly wasn't like that, but I did get to do signings and I got to meet people, and it was a really good time. So I will definitely like to say there will be another Missa Mania if I'm not actually there at WrestleMania headlining, but
let's add
right?
triple threat. Let's do it.
Exactly. But yeah, there's definitely we've talked about it, and as a group, like it's really fun, and it's a cool escape, and the reactions that we got. Again, so going back to the signings, we did I always mix them up. WrestleCon is Mania, right?
Yeah.
And then WrestleCade is in November. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll go with that, yeah. We had I want to say 3 people that came up to our table that were like, oh, we know who you are because of the Missa Mania videos.
That's awesome.
Instead of like the reverse of like, oh, we know you and we're watching the video, so it was really fun.
That's awesome. You just really never know who's watching, and I'm so excited. We'll have to find a way to get you to WrestleMania 41. It's starting to look like be a good show. We'll have to get you in. Maybe you could be a part of it somehow. You never know, right?
I'll just run through really quick. I'll be like, I'm a part of it.
I mean, I think they had like somebody. I think there was somebody that like dressed up as like the what was it? The one a couple years ago they like dressed up as like when they had all the sponsorship. I think it was like the Captain Crunch or whatever. I forget who it was. Something like that. They could. I don't know.
That's awesome.
I don't know, but that we'll definitely have to find a way to get you to WrestleMania sometime. Missa, I appreciate you though. Thank you so much for coming here, chatting with me and everything, letting people know what's coming up. It's been going on, all that good stuff and all the stories. But if you want to let everybody know where they can find you, what's coming up, what you got going on, and just, all that good stuff.
All right. Let's see if I got this. Record timing. As you mentioned, all the really cool, exciting matches that I have coming up. But I do want to mention one that I'm having this week. Well, 2 that I'm having this week. I'm actually going to Texas for 4 days. Flying in Friday. Going to be there Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Coming back Tuesday. And during that weekend, I am having a tag match. And the tag match will be against the hybrid coach, Mr. Marvel. So that's going to be a fun match. So definitely check that out. And then on top of that, after I'm done beating his ass, I'm going to beat his student's ass, Izzy Marino. We are having a singles match. Her and I, we have a little bit of history of Mission Pro Wrestling, Started in Philly, ironically, in the ECW arena. So yeah, she beat me. She made me tap out. Not just beat me, she made me tap out. Oh. So we're gonna have another match where she's not gonna win this one, So yeah, that's this weekend. As far as social media and all that fun stuff, Missa Kate 23. Why is it 23? Not because I'm trying to be like Jordan, because I am just great like Jordan. I was born on the 23rd. I was born on Thanksgiving, so be thankful.
I love that, Missa.
Missa Kate 23 on Instagram and Twitter. TikTok. I think I am a freaking hootenanny to watch. Missa Kate on there. I try to have daily videos. Been slacking. I've been a little busy, but I'm working on it. And yeah, and then if you click on those links, like how to support, go get some 8x10s. Go get some t-shirts. go get my give me free stuff from Amazon. I like free stuff. So, everyone's winning.
If it's for free, it's for me, right?
That's right.
Hey. Well, Missa, thank you so much. Thank you for coming on to the channel, and definitely everybody go and check out all of that. But guys, go and make sure you check out all the other videos. Definitely, if you are just joining us, definitely go back to the beginning of the episode. Got some great stuff here. Missa, thank you again one more time. Guys, we will see you all next time here on Tino's Time.
Later.
Deuces.